Hi, I'm Sally, and this is a video about what to bring and what not to bring to stay in a hostel. One of the most important things is a small padlock for the luggage lockers. I like to use a combination lock, so I'm not worried about losing a key when I'm out and about during the day, or potentially even missing a flight because I can't find the key. Something to avoid bringing is crinkly plastic bags, because hearing this sound at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to sleep and somebody is packing to go to the airport is very disruptive. So avoid crinkly plastic bags. Instead, use packing cubes or mesh bags. You can buy these at the dollar store or at travel stores. And the nice thing is they can sometimes double as a pillow. And I also tend to store my clothes in my bed within these bags. I just line them up along the edge of the bed or at the foot of my bed. And that way my clothes are really handy, and when I wake up in the morning, I can fish around, get out my clothes for the day, get dressed without even having to leave my bed, without having to unlock the locker and fish through my luggage. This is just a simple way to stay organized and have everything handy. And during the day, I just put my comforter over top of all of my stuff that I have laid out over my bed. Nobody even knows it's there, and it's just super convenient. A lot of hostels do have handy charging points right next to the bed, but not all of them do. So having a really long cable for charging your phone might be quite useful, especially if you're really addicted to your phone and you want to be able to use it while it's charging in a common area or in bed. Of course, you'll also need the right adapter for the outlets for the country that you are going to. A water bottle will be useful. Many hostels give you a towel for free when you check in, but some do charge a rental fee, and that can add up if you're staying in a lot of different hostels on a trip. So if you are going somewhere where a towel rental fee is the norm, then bringing your own travel towel is a good way to just save some money. If you plan on doing laundry, I really recommend getting one of these collapsible backcountry bowls. So this is made by Backpackers Pantry, and it folds up to basically nothing. You can shove it in your bag. It doesn't weigh anything, and it will allow you to do your laundry in the bathrooms without having to put your clothes directly into a sink that may or may not be very clean. I don't bring laundry detergent. I just use whatever hand soap or shampoo or whatever is available. That's totally sufficient. But having this will allow you to travel really light, because you can just wash 1 or 2 items of clothing every night and always have something clean in the morning. Everyone will tell you you need shower shoes, and I do recommend that. They're also just handy for having something to slip into to walk around the hostel instead of wearing your shoes all the time. Something I always bring is this bag. So this is just a shopping bag. It's reusable, scrunches up to nothing. It's super light, and it is so handy because I love being able to pick up some groceries and bring it back to the hostel to cook myself some dinner or breakfast. Because one of the big advantages, of course, of staying at hostels is access to kitchens. So in hostels with kitchens, you can usually store your food in the fridge with a note on it with your name and the checkout date. I like to keep that food together in a bag with the handles tied up. And then I put the note with my name on the top. And I figure that's just an extra little deterrent to keep somebody who's hungry from grabbing something that I put in the fridge. And it also just makes it less likely that my things will get mixed up with all of the other things in the fridge, and I'll remember exactly what's in there because it will all be together in this bag. So that's just a little hot tip. Now, as well designed as hostels are these days, they often seem to lack somewhere to put all of your things when you go to take a shower. Often there's only like one hook in the shower stall, which makes it really hard to find somewhere to put all of your clothes and your towel and your toiletries. And so I use this bag for that as well. And in fact, I'd even recommend bringing 2 of these so that you could put your towel and your clean clothes in one and everything else in the other. This is a Hosteling International card, and if you have one, I would suggest bringing it. It's less and less common that you get discounts with this, but if you are staying in an HI affiliated hostel, you might be able to get a discount, but you will need to show your card. Make sure you bring earplugs and potentially an eye mask. Although I do find that curtains are becoming pretty standard in a lot of hostels, so the brightness is not as much of an issue. I would suggest a flashlight in case you need to get up and use the bathroom. There might not be a lot of lighting in the room and you should never turn on the lights in the middle of the night. Don't do that to your fellow bunkmates. So a small flashlight, or even better, a headlamp often really comes in handy, even for just reading in bed if you don't have your own bedside light. So of course I would bring a toiletry case that will keep all your things together in the bathroom, because you will need to cart it back and forth from your room. One thing I almost always bring, unless there's an included breakfast, is a little Ziploc bag with some oatmeal in it, just for a quick, easy breakfast, or even a snack if it's the evening and I'm too lazy to go out, I'm tired from exploring. Just a quick little easy snack I can have at basically any hostel that has access to hot water. One thing that you should not bring to a hostel is a sleeping bag. That is to say, you could bring it if you're going camping or something, but do not get it out. Do not put it on your bed. A lot of hostels will even fine people who do that, and the reason is bed bugs. Bed bugs are devastating for hostels, so they take that really seriously. And of course, the last thing you want to do is bring home bed bugs in your sleeping bag. Now, that being said, there are certain hostels, including certain pilgrim accommodation, where you are expected to have a sheet sack. So these are made by Sea to Summit, among other brands, and they're just a big piece of fabric that's been sewn into the shape of a sleeping bag, and you put that under the bedding that is provided. The vast majority of hostels do not require this, and I would not waste your time or money on investing in one of these unless there's a specific place that you need it for. In some regions where electricity and water really come at a premium, and specifically parts of Scandinavia, you will need to travel with a whole sheet set. So a sheet, a duvet cover, and a pillowcase. Some of those hostels may rent those items, but others won't. So read the descriptions carefully so you come prepared. You might want to avoid those places altogether if you don't want to deal with the hassle of bringing a whole sheet set with you. Another thing you should have before you stay in a hostel is a SIM card for whatever country you are visiting. And you can get that before you leave home or upon arrival. Or a lot of phones are now compatible with an eSIM, so you don't even need a physical SIM card. Nowadays, so many hostels expect you to be online so that they can send you information about how to check in, codes for the door if you are arriving after hours, or other information. And if you're not online, you may find it hard to get into the building. If it's late at night or something, you could be in quite a pickle. So if you want to avoid roaming charges or getting locked out, and I've learned this one the hard way, then I do recommend making sure that you can connect to the internet before you even arrive at your first hostel. The other thing that you should not bring is a really large amount of luggage. A lot of hostels have really limited space that needs to be shared amongst everybody who is staying in that room. So if you do have a lot of luggage, a shared hostel room might not be your best bet, but at the very least, perhaps look at the photos available online to get a sense of how much space there is in a room. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. Happy travels.